So what's been happening or so? We haven't heard Clavicular in a while. It looks like he got his face beat up or something. What happened here, to be honest? Plus, some people just want to bring up old clips just to hate, look at trash taste. People were farming that clip. Yeah, even though it was like 4 years ago or something like that. Apparently, we also got some more, not trash chase, but it looks like Joey is getting some flack or so. They're trying to cancel Joey, apparently. We got a lot to talk about today, which is very interesting. Plus, also, we got some fun videos to watch, too, as well. I want to do at least a little bit of a mixture of in between, you know? I don't want to just do doom and gloom. We got to have some funniness every so often, you know? Because I feel like if you talk about the same thing over and over again, you just start getting, like, really annoyed after a while, you know? So, but what's been happening with Clavicular? I don't know what's happening.
So, Clavicular, as you can see, recently got into a fight with a balding, middle-aged man outside a club. Apparently, it was a citizen's arrest, and as you can see, he got himself in quite a pickle. Bro's literally just laying on the ground like he's praying to his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. It's honestly quite sad. In this latest update by Drama Alert, they say Clavicular was almost choked out. Another headline said Clavicular got into a fight outside a Miami club. One person said, all that looks maxing to get his ass beat by a balding, average build white dude. Another person said, do we call this weak maxing? Taken down by a middle-aged bald man, rendered completely helpless, and pathetic friends all watching, except for one kid that took 4 minutes to do anything, held back by a little kid. Another person said,
well, I'm gonna let you know, looks maxing doesn't equal you being good in a fight, okay? That's all I gotta say, you know?
LMFAO, N-word accepted his fate. Dr. Axius with this screenshot here, and it's, you know, yeah, that's basically Clav on the floor right now. So anyways, let's get into this footage. I'm very curious to see how this all started.
You're under citizen arrest. You're under citizen arrest.
So the older guy, the bald guy with the Norwood Reaper kicking his ass said, you're under citizen's arrest.
You're under citizen's arrest.
Now, I want to know, like, what did Clav do to get arrested? By some random dad of 3 outside a club at like 2 a.m. Isn't he supposed to be at home with his kids and wife?
Yo, you good? You can't just citizen. Tú no puedes hacer un citizen de esa manera, hermano.
Okay, bro just started spitting out the fucking Spanish, okay?
Talking in Spanish. I don't know why he's shirtless, don't ask me.
Okay, so Clav, like, he's just accepting his fate on the ground. I mean, with all the steroids this guy took, all the PEDs, the performance enhancing drugs, you'd think that he'd fare a better chance at fighting.
No, because it's fake. It's not real, bro. Just because you enhance yourself, you know, with all these buffs and everything like that, it doesn't mean you know how to use them at the end of the day.
A literal,
Sí,
like,
está en Miami.
A 50-year-old dude who's probably a little out of shape. You'd think that you, as a young man, would have a better chance. If you ever wished payday came sooner, this might actually help. Now, there's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful features, and one of the main ones lets you access up to $750 of your paychecks early if you qualify. And with Current, you get a that's literally what it's designed for, helping people like you stay more on top of their finances.
Yeah, I'm like Jack Doherty. Jack Doherty is the one that, like, takes off his shirt every single time, you know, especially during when he crashed his McLaren. He took off his shirt. Any controversy, the dude always takes off his shirt for some random apparent reason. I don't know why these people like to take off their shirts. It makes no sense to me. And I'm just kind of like, no, put it away. We don't need to see it. Put it away. Put it away.
And with that said, let's get back to the video. Okay. So I think this is his friend named Drago, according to the comments. Someone in the comments said W Drago, real effing friend, and this was actually posted by Drago. It was actually posted by Drago himself, as you can see.
Of course.
Anyway. Damn, he just kicked his buddy in the face by accident. So does anybody have
Dude, I'm hearing the Spanish part and it's so fucking funny to hear it in Spanish.
Have any context as to why this has happened?
Me cago en tu puta madre.
He said, "Puta madre." No, that's crazy though.
Make sure you guys
Nah, I need some context because this is actually embarrassing. Someone said clavicular mogged by the true alpha of Jersey.
Oh my
fuck, where's he
God.
from? The Sopranos, I think. I didn't even watch that show, but I mean, someone said N-word was getting choked out by Elon Musk before the hair transplant. That's crazy. Another person said, is clavicular such a weakling? He ought to be stronger than this middle-aged MFer for sure, definitely. I gotta say, anybody,
I
any
feel
guy.
like people don't understand that, like, just because you have the muscles to show doesn't mean you know how to use them. And also at the same time, Clavicular has never really fought anybody, so he doesn't know how to fight. Okay, so that's the thing. He doesn't know how to fight. So I just don't understand what people don't. I just don't understand certain people. It's just like, just because he has the muscles, it doesn't mean he knows how to use them. At the end of the day.
In the gym, whether you use steroids or not, especially in your 20s, you should be way stronger than the average 40-plus-year-old guy who does.
No, because there's a difference between this guy and there's a difference between that guy. Okay, there's a difference between both of these people at the end of the day.
Not even lift weights. It's just,
That's
it's
all I have to
actually
say.
embarrassing. I know old man strength is a thing. I don't even consider 40 plus old. If you're like 50 plus, okay, sure. But a young man who lifts consistently, especially with Clav taking TRT, bro, you should not be getting your ass whipped like this. This is crazy. Although some people are pointing out that this dude trained looks at technique and hip throw. Okay, I can see that. Another person said this has to be staged, no punches thrown, just weak ass grappling with barely any force. I mean, I think people are severely overestimating the average person and their capabilities of fighting, grappling, and hand-to-hand combat. Like, no, the average person knows basically fuck all when it comes to fighting. But it actually gets worse. Look at this shit. His friend Drago. Bro, he's drunk as shit. You can tell, bro. He's trying his best though.
Get the fuck off of him! You piece of shit! Get the fuck off of my pussy!
What the fuck?
Are they
Oh
all
my
drunk?
God!
Dude, they all look weak. I'm not gonna lie. For some people who allegedly, like Clav, take steroids, you'd think that there would be a little more
Stop saying this, Maury, because we all know for a fact that you don't know the difference between someone who is more expertise in fighting and someone who's not, who does it for showing. Okay, all right. Can you just stop? Okay. I feel like Maury is kind of like, I'm like, come on, Maury. God Lord.
Tumble a little more.
That's the only thing
force,
that's making
right?
me annoyed.
I mean,
so.
W friend Drago for even trying. I'm going to assume, because of the lack of strategy and execution here, that he's just fucking wasted. So he's probably seeing stars and blurred vision and everything else, like that Mr. Krabs meme when he's looking around at the crowd. Like,
You are the fucking citizen's arrest. Alright. You're on the citizen's arrest.
I gotta say, in this situation, this is probably the worst position you want to be on the ground. Grappling and wrestling is one of the worst ways to be trying to defend yourself against multiple targets.
You're on the citizen's arrest. We're fucking tackling.
This is why learning how to box is very important. At the very least, fuck every other martial art, boxing is probably the best thing you can learn.
No, boxing is not the best. It's not the best one, because someone with actual MMA fighting skills or so, who knows how to use their kicks and also how to do grapple at the same time, will outclass someone who does boxing any day of the week, to be honest. All the person has to do who knows how to do grappling and grappling moves, and also like doing like MMA, like kickboxing stuff, like just general know how to use their kicks and everything like that, will outclass a box fighter, like a boxing person who knows how to use their fist only. So all they have to do is just close the gap, and that's it.
I gotta say, a bunch of grown men in
Yeah,
some
exactly.
weird contorted.
That's also a thing too. You don't take shortcuts. You don't. Just because you're buffing yourself up, with all of these steroids and HR, whatever the fuck it is, right? It doesn't mean, like, just because you look good doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. So I'm like, those are fake. I'm like, it's just a thing to make the process faster. Yeah, Muay Thai. Yeah, Muay Thai is also like another thing too as well. Like that's also like it'll outclass anyone in the boxing. So
distorted pretzel-like
don't get me wrong,
position
boxing is
amongst each
good,
other is kind of
but
crazy right now. I'm not
it will
gonna
fall
lie.
flat against someone else.
How you doing?
That's crazy, dog. So what did he even do? I need to investigate a little bit. After doing a little digging, they say the July 25th confrontation allegedly began after a man took Peters's hat inside the club. Footage circulating on X appears to show the shirtless streamer confronting the man before shoving and slapping him as several people attempt to intervene. And here's that footage here. This post says Clavicular slaps a random guy before a fight breaks out inside the club, leading to the viral Miami parking lot fight outside. So here that is. I think this is his friend actually, Drago. Yeah. Okay. So somebody takes his hat. Where's that gonna come? Okay. Oh, so he touched this guy's face. So that's what led to the fight. Okay. Okay. So that. So just a bunch of drunk losers in a club. I don't know. Ego-filled. Clavicular decides to touch this guy's face for some reason. I don't know. Maybe he said some shit and then a fight breaks out. And by the way, like guys, having money, simply having money, and people watching you on stream does not mean that you're not a loser. I just gotta be honest. Like being black.
Well, we can take a look at it. Let's take a look. Let's see. We can ask ChatGPT. There's only one way. There's only one way to put it to the test at the end of the day. So, yeah, as a boxer can actually be at a disadvantage against someone who has training in grappling and kickboxing, but it depends on heavily on the rules of the fight scene. But under the boxing rules, well, not under boxing rules. Yeah, and a more well-rounded fighter, so will just beat overall. In the real world, we've seen this in combat sports. Many elite boxers entering the MMA struggle because they lack wrestling and grappling moves. Many MMA fighters would struggle in a pure boxing match because professional boxers have vastly superior boxing techniques. So let's see. So what usually wins? So the fighter with the best overall skills, the better conditioning, the better fight IQ, experience under applicable rules. Well, not just rules in general. So yes, a boxer can be vulnerable against someone trained in kickboxing and grappling because that opponent has way more ways to attack and control the fight. But if the boxer is significantly more skilled, especially under boxing rules. That's only if boxing rules. So if you don't have any boxing rules, they're still weak against other people who have more tools under their belt at the end of the day.
Lasted like this, and then getting into a fight over some ridiculous bullshit like this is straight loser activity. I'm not gonna lie. Another person said, you can tell Clav was surprised when the guy grabbed his hand and that Clav didn't expect resistance because he's been living entitled and privileged lately. He's turning into Jack Doherty. I literally said months ago that Clavicular is the new Jack Doherty. People didn't like that though, but it's true.
I don't know about Jack Doherty, to be frankly honest. He just more gives me like a douchebag vibes. I mean, I think Jack Doherty is a lot more annoying compared to Clavicular. I'm like, with Clavicular, all he likes to talk about is just looks maxing all the time.
Same shit. So yeah, that appears to be what started the fight. Fucking peak loser activities, man. They also say police placed Clavicular in patrol vehicle after brawl with security. Footage shared by Clavicular's friend Drago shows two men who appear to be security guards For the nightclub attempting to restrain Peters outside the venue, one wrestles the streamer to the pavement. So I guess the bald guy was a security guard and holds him in a headlock as Drago repeatedly tries to pull the man away. Police officers eventually arrive and separate those involved. Extended footage later appears to show Peters sitting in the rear of a police SUV, sparking speculation that the streamer had been arrested. I gotta say, man, this view right here is crazy. You got some overweight bald guy in his 40s, probably 50s, just laying on top.
Yeah, but he's a security guard. There's a difference between security guard and clavicular. Clavicular is just a streamer. He hasn't really lifted his fist or anything to fight. He has his security guards do everything, while this guy has actually been there in the trenches, fucking probably hauling ass on people who've been annoyance or so. And also, if he's a security guard, he's probably been trained too as well. So.
Top of Clav's face, sweaty at all, no
he has
shirt,
been losing
and
aura,
there's not a
we'll
goddamn thing Clav can do with all the things he's injected, all the steroids, all the injections, the TRT, all the male.
Naive is such a bliss for Mori, I'm not gonna lie. That kind of proves how much, like, you know, like where his thought process is at the end of the day, you know? He keeps repeating the same thing.
And is still getting destroyed by someone's overly zealous uncle who may or may not work as security at this establishment. I don't think he's security. I think he's just out there trying to, you know, party. He was getting lit. He saw Clav was starting some problems and decided to intervene.
This guy has a wire, so.
Anyway, here's the cop. Badge and all. I gotta say, guys, there's literally nothing special about this incident. This is just straight, like, late time club activities. People fight all the time. This is only a story because it involved Look Smaxer Clavicular getting destroyed by Tony Soprano, right? This is Tony, right? Why was he just looking at the camera like this? Like he knew this was gonna look bad on film. Someone said, y'all act like he tried getting out. Okay, buddy, cope. Clav gonna sue him for a lot of money. He messed up bad. Okay, buddy. Guys, I think the main lesson in all this is that, bro, if you're gonna build muscle, if you're gonna actually try to get strong, do it the right way, do it naturally. Don't rely on tier.
He is actually incorrect when it comes to like muscles in general, right? Muscles are just for show. They're not really for like fighting. If you want to like learn how to fight or get in a brawl or something, you need to take time or so to train your body to do that. And also, what is it? Calisthenics. Calisthenics is the more better approach to become strong instead of trying to increase, like, you know, gaining muscle, basically, you know, working out your muscles in general. Calisthenics, if I remember correctly, calisthenics is a more better one. Fighting requires more cardio. Yeah, that is also true as well. You need more cardio and also more dedication when it comes to like fighting in hand-to-hand combat overall, though. Sparring, training, that's what it is in general. It's not like actual working out muscles, okay? Muscles are just for show. That's all it is. Sí, eso sí es verdad. No es la misma cosa. Cuando músculo es just solo para que miras bien guapo y eso es todo. True, you got to condition your fists because you are more likely to break them. Yes, exactly. Because if you don't, because there's a wrong way to fight and there's to do a fist and everything like that. You don't put it, because some people, for some apparent reason, they like to put their fist in the fucking, like their thumbs in the fist. That's how you fuck up your hands. You always want to put them on this. You always want to put them on the outside for some apparent reason. I don't know why. I've seen people fight like that for some apparent reason, right? And also at the same time, they usually they don't punch forward. They like to do like this hammer motion to hit people, and that's not how you do it. You know, you got to do footwork. You got to work on your footwork at the same time. You know, you have to condition yourself in order to do these things. That's why I just personally just disagree with this guy's take overall. So I'm like, muscles are just only for show. That's it. There's nothing like when it comes to an actual brawl in a fight or so. That's the reason why when certain like muscular people, they can't reach their backs because they can't fucking like, you know, they can't freaking like touch their backs whatsoever. I can touch both fingers. Like I can touch my fingers at the back of my back. So
T as a young man, or anabolic steroids, what do we call it, Tren, Anavar, Deca, all these things, like actually put the time and effort into not only conditioning your body for real world strength, but also probably learning how to fight, at least hand-to-hand combat, something, so you can get yourself, or better yet, not put yourself in situations like this. Again, also on top of self-defense and not using steroids when you're that young, also ego check, man, like de-escalate. I just don't, at this point in my life, I don't understand how people get into fights like this over just the pettiest bullshit. What? Keep your hands to yourself. This is why this happened. He put his hands on someone else, and then everything, the domino effect.
And also, you can tell this guy is a security because he has a walkie-talkie and he has also the string headphones or so up to his ear. So it's the same thing for the other guy. The guy on the floor that's restraining Clavicular right now is a security guard as well. So you can tell.
Effect, other people got involved, and now
plus you can tell how he didn't literally let him go
like
either
dollar
too
store,
as well.
Timu version of Tony Soprano
when he was getting
with
pulled by the other
Norwood
dude.
7, bro. Just cut the hair off, bro. Go bald. I don't understand why older guys even. What the fuck is this horseshoe? Do you see that? The horseshoe. He kicks his friend in the face too. I don't understand. What are we rocking? What do you even have on your head anyway? Sorry, he's catching strays. I never understood the look. Anyway, thoughts and feelings about what you can do about this, guys. Bro got destroyed by somebody's dad, uncle. Amazing.
Like, just let the guy's hair, leave it alone. That has nothing. That's like irrelevant to the actual conversation itself. People who use steroids are also super emotional. Oh, really? I did not know that, actually. I didn't know that it also caused like emotionality too as well. Yeah, like personally, you know, it's Clavicular's fault at the end of the day for putting, you know, their hands on somebody. There's also an old person teaching the youth a lesson. Let me see. I'm just not gonna put like the music because I don't know if it's copyrighted. Until in ATL, bro. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you gotta train yourself for it, though. That's the only thing. Like, that's a huge difference. You gotta condition your body in order to do these things. Like, for me specifically, I don't think I can do it anymore. Like, I can't really like I can't punch somebody. My arms are already weak as how they are now, and I can't do any kicks either too as well, because at the end of the day, you know, that's why I try to stay away from fights overall, like 100%, you know, or anything like sparring related, you know. Fun fact or so, I used to do quite a lot of sparring back when I was younger, so yeah. So but I can't do that anymore, so I am completely crippled at this point. So I just kind of like, you know, I have a very colorful, interesting background, I have to say, at least, you know. But overall, that's kind of like basically it. Fun fact, anyways. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Clavicular is losing aura at this point, you know. I'm like, at the end of the day, looks maxing doesn't really help you out when it comes to like, you know, actual like real world fisty cuff thing, you know. That's all I have to say at the end of the day. So anyways, that's the end of the video, and peace.